if I remember good, if I has a little bit of culture, when World War II happened, America made the comics, because people was seeing superheroes and getting distracted from the war by this type of comics where they can believe in a hero. And yeah, either we start being all depressed and like I say, like be scared in a certain way and be wait a whole month, or we get fucking distracted or change our mind. But at the same time, we need to talk about things like that because I think it needs to maybe change, even in a smaller way. Everyone has a vision. Everyone has a point. And I want to hear you point about the situation about Charlie Kirk and overall. I saw Amy you tweeted about it, but does it go that deep?
What do you mean? Does it go that deep?
When I say when like will he stay like a good month as you said, or next week maybe we're gonna not really forget, but
I mean,
go past
like,
something.
like I mean, this has a huge impact, and I don't think that there's many things you can draw from to like. I'm not calling anything apples to apples, but like think about the like Luigi Mangione stuff. Like when that happened, like how long was that spoken about, and how long did that take up the airwaves on in the media? Like quite a long time, like probably about a month. And like we haven't even gotten all the information about who like the man they took into custody was, that's like the potential shooter. Like we don't have any information yet, and I think that more is going to keep coming out. I think that there's a lot of like this is just extremely politically charged, and I think that we're going to see things from all parties that are going to be talked about. um I don't know, they're like the from the left and from the right, people are going to make points about this, and this is just not going to be tired anytime soon. Like I just don't think that this becomes tired for people, because this is bigger than just what's happening with Charlie. I think that, and it's coming in succession with what happened with this Ukrainian girl on the subway in Charlotte, and it just is like it's a big like moment in time, and I think that it will change the course of history, in my opinion. Like I don't I was talking to my dad about this, and like the last time I felt like we crossed this kind of invisible line was 9/11. Um and I think that like I don't remember it feeling like this in a long time. Like and at least in my lifetime, like 9/11 is the only time that I felt like it's this big of an impact. But I'm like, and I mean, I'm not an aficionado. I'm not a politician. I don't like. I'm just a girl on the internet with that is living in America. Like I'm not somebody that has any opinion that matters beyond just being a human being. So that's just my take.
No,
And
yeah,
you're
but
not even from
still, yeah.
America, I seem. So like, what is your read on this?
I mean, I'm not from America, but same time I'm from Europe, and that event happened in Ukraine. And yeah, if I was Ukrainian, I'll be down bad with the war, and now this type of, how we call it, homicide, public homicide, with people not reacting. And yeah, the world is wide, but when I see things like that, it's not the first time that things happen like this in America. So I think the big change is gonna happen, especially that Charlie Kirk, rest in peace, is still an influencer guy. I don't know who was talking about, but he's involved with Donald Trump, no?
I mean, he's like he like has a lot of right wing views, and he is a friend of Donald Trump, and like he knows like a lot of people in the conservative political party. He knows a lot of people just in politics in general. He's got a pretty loud voice, and goes viral consistently, and I don't know, that I think that that's the biggest association, and has been a supporter of Donald Trump and the Trump campaign. So I think you could say it that far.
Yeah, and guys on stage and even listening, if you want to come up and speak about it, if you have any different type of opinion or vision about it, we're gonna let first of all, hello Toshi, welcome. How we doing? I saw you went down with capitalists. What happened there?
No, 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 no. I didn't. I don't care about that guy. I just think he's making a new image for himself that is not true, to be honest. But away from that, he was basically saying like, "Rest in peace, Charlie Kirk," and I said like, "The guy is a father. Like, this is not how you should behave." And then we just had a bit of an argument back and forth. I don't think you should be saying this about someone who's like, bro. Imagine like the wife seeing this shit on Twitter. It's like fucked up. But yeah, it like fucks freedom of speech as well because it's like Charlie Kirk. From what I know of him, I'm not a big fan, but like, bro, he was very welcome to freedom of speech and like letting the other side speak. So now people are going to be scared to talk because you literally can get shot. Like it's crazy the level of violence going on right now.
It's disgusting. Seriously.
A lot, a
I
lot.
would say
That's
this.
true. The freedom of speech, like people. I thought that next influencers that want to speak freely will be scared, and it's like a way of silence. Either we're gonna get the reaction of people saying, "Yeah, we're gonna keep talking." How we call that? Keep pushing the freedom of speech, or the inverse effect of people scared to talk freely and don't get fucking shoot in the head or whatever.
I'm gonna say this. First off, the reaction because he's Charlie Kirk, because he's known for going on like very liberal campuses and like talking like all of the right wing talk, and it's just like that's basically what it is. Like a lot of the people's reaction, like where I live in Chicago, or liberal city, is that he kind of like was a jerk, like he was the guy that like kind of like almost asked for it by the way that he was and that's really sad. First off, that's just like a normie, that's like a very common approach people look at it. But I'm going to say this just to put an idea out there. I don't think it was just like some random person that shot him. People think it was like some random leftist or something, like someone that just hated him. But to have like only one shot and to be that accurate and hit someone in the neck like that, it absolutely had to have been some huge operation. Like yeah, I hate this
Let's hear
shit.
the conspiracy. Who
I
was it
complete
then?
I
That was that. That's
completely
all I need to say.
I completely disagree with that. I think it was an old white boomer who watched who has an internalized decade or more of white guilt from
How would
CNN,
he get away? How would they not catch
and
him?
You got him
they
right
did
away.
catch him.
Hey, who putting fucking sunburns laughing? Huh? Miri, that's you?
And I think this guy is a boomer who watched CNN all the time and heard Charlie Kirk's continually say on every college campus that black people commit 40 times more violent crime than white people, and he was like, "Oh, you can't say that about my brothers," and killed him. That's what happened.
It will
I
not
think
make
if that
sense.
was the guy, they would have caught him already. He wouldn't have been able to get away
They
with it
did
so
catch him. He
cleanly.
got arrested.
No, they just
Did
look
they
at Twitter.
actually?
They already said it wasn't him. He's still at large.
Yeah, that's not him. They said that
Pin
wasn't him.
it. Yeah, they who pin it. Let's see it.
They tricked you. They no, that's it. They're the
They
easy,
who pin it.
vulnerable sucker.
They who pin it. I haven't seen it.
All the posts that are coming out have community notes stating that it's not.
Yeah, bro, you just exposed yourself.
They want to
Oh,
cover it up.
I exposed myself for not being on Twitter for the last hour. Thanks. Get pin the post, buddy.
Expose yourself is a crazy word.
It's
So
just
the
I
funny though,
was
because
sorry.
it is true. Like
I was on Twitter
everyone sees
two.
that
I was on
initial
Twitter
post
two
that it's an
hours
old
ago.
guy,
Not. I was
and
on
you
Twitter
put the
two
story
hours
together.
ago. Not 1 hour ago. I apologize. If you could pin the
Right,
post,
no,
thanks.
it's no,
Bobby,
I understand, and
What's
I'm
your
saying that it's
current
obviously
Bobby, what's
what they
your current
want
views
everyone to
on
react with.
the levels of violence
You
and
gave
shit
them
going
what
on
they
in
wanted.
America?
You gave them exactly what they
Well, I don't
wanted,
know.
bro.
We saw a DEI judge who didn't have a law degree release a violent black criminal 14 times, basically letting him out until he killed somebody. Um, I don't know, man. I have a lot of thoughts.
Yeah, but how do you like? It's like feels like it's very close to like I don't know, like a fucking war or some shit, like civil
Yeah,
war,
it's a
bro.
we're
boiling
gonna have a
point.
civil
Yeah,
war.
I went to my kid's basketball practice like 2 hours ago, and the just regular people there were talking about it, about how they're sick of living this way. So
Wait, Bobby has a kid?
yeah,
He's got like four, bro.
people are sick of being walking down the street and being afraid of violent black criminals.
Yeah,
I'm just tired of having to, dude, like if I leave the house and I don't have a gun in my appendix, I'm like, fuck, I gotta go. and go back and get it. Because if I go out to dinner and I'm wearing a watch that's worth more than $10 fucking, I'm gonna have a gun.
If you don't
And
have a
like,
gun on you and you're in public, it's a derelict of duty of yourself.
yeah, because you're gonna die.
That's fucked. That's actually fucked up though. Like I'm not
Isn't
gonna
that the
lie.
problem in the
'Cause
first place, though?
Isn't that like your mindset you guys are at?
no,
Or
I don't think it is the. I think it's easy to say it's the problem in the first place, but I don't think it is. I think it's
There's
the
in
people
the
behind the guns that have been so fucked up. That's my opinion. I actually don't know,
I,
but I
I'm
don't.
gonna,
I think the fact. I think the problem is that people need to carry guns to feel safe.
Look
It's
at
not the fact that
if you
guns
live
are
in
causing the
if you live in a
violence.
top 10 major city, I'm talking like New York, LA, Chicago, Miami, and you don't let me rephrase that, right? Let me rephrase my initial statement to if you live in a major city because interracial black crime is skyrocketing since 2020, you're not safe around black people.
I mean, really quick,
bro,
if I can
everyone in
intervene,
the space, do not listen to these people, bro. Like, don't scare
Bro,
yourself like they are fucking trying to scare you. Like that's bullshit.
I
yeah.
got
I'm gonna
shot by a
I'm gonna
black guy.
intervene here, guys. It's
Yeah. Hold on.
Yes, thanks.
I need to mute. I need to mute. Everyone has different point of views, guys. So like, at least if Bobby says something, say your point of view. That's his point of view, and respect his other point of view. Maybe you find his point of view dumb. Maybe your point of view is another thing. Just maybe hands up. And I give fucking speech, and you say whatever we want. Freedom of speech right here. We will not get shot in spaces. We safe. At least here we safe.
Yeah, so I would also say like if someone else is giving their opinion, just don't talk over it. Like even if you disagree, just like let them get the point out. Like this is like I mean, obviously people are gonna have dissonant opinions about this, and that's fine. Um, I think that ICM started the space to be able to have the discourse. So just like allow people to have their opinion, even if you
Oh
strongly
man.
disagree with it. Like this is what the entire nation's gonna be doing for the next few weeks. And if you don't want to be a part of the conversation, then I'd probably just log off the internet for the next month because this is what people are going to do. People are going to have discussions about this. But if you can't be like have a adult conversation about it, I would suggest not doing it. And as
Yeah.
long as you're like talking about the facts and your opinions and like not being like a fucking dickhead, like that's like I
My
would just
opinion is that
suggest that.
Charlie Kirk was murdered because he pointed out the fact that black men make up 1/14 of the population and commit over half the murders.
Okay,
People
so
say, "Oh,
that's
black communities are over policed." It's because they're over policed. That doesn't
Okay,
pertain to murder.
we just said don't talk over people. I hear you. You have statistics, but just like let Bobby make his point. And if you want to raise your hand or you want to come in afterwards, like that's cool too. That's cool too.
Amy, hush.
In the
No,
middle of
no,
speech.
I'm not gonna fucking hush. I seen gave me the fucking mute button. If you want me to hush, then you should go to another space.
yeah.
Thank you,
Let's just Bobby give his
Bang.
point of view because he hasn't given his point. Then we can go to Shark, who is next.
Yeah, thanks for
Elon mute.
Yeah, see, that's crazy. Yo, so
Yo,
literally all I have to say is I don't care how you view things. I don't care what you believe in. I don't care what you support. This man was a father and this man was a husband at the end of the day, okay? So all I have to say is that the fact that people are contributing and the fact that people are making gains off of his death is absolutely insane. That's
Nah,
the
that's
one.
fucking bullshit.
No, that's fucking bullshit. Okay, we can continue. We can continue all night long, bro. I don't care.
Are you mad that people are making money
nah,
because he
but
died?
Beaver.
No, no, I'm not
Yeah,
mad at
with
people
news though,
making
with
money,
news, everyone is making money from news these days. It's
and
just
that's fine.
inevitable,
That's
and I
Yeah.
wouldn't
fine.
partake,
That
but
is
it's
perfectly
inevitable.
fine. That
you'll
is
you'll
perfectly
never stop
fine.
people making money, but maybe it's uncouth or a bad look to like brag about it.
Most
Okay,
Like
people
if
well,
see the
that's
news through
cool.
coins,
That's
like
bro.
cool.
if I would have made
That's cool.
like
You have a special spot in hell.
Maybe a
You
bit
have a
gay too,
special
Bobby. No,
spot in hell for making money off of a dead person. That's all I have to say. Y'all have a good night.
to be fair though, they made money from
Wait,
a
so what was
coin.
your point then?
The point was just basically that you shouldn't be making jokes like capitalists did, saying like rest in piss and all that shit. Secondly, I think what a lot of people are forgetting is he's not a criminal. So to say like, oh, he was right wing Hitler, all this stuff, like the guy was doing everything legal. So to be killed is not like he's done something crazy or he'd been convicted of something terrible and then he got killed. People are speaking like he was a criminal because he had an opinion on politics. Like without opinions
And
on
he was
politics, you
like
go nowhere.
of all the people, his opinions were like very mellow comparatively, and also like his entire thing was all like he just talked. Like that's the only thing he did.
Bro, it's similar to
So
what's his name, Steven Crowder or something. I think his name.
yeah, well, no,
Bro, it
Crowder,
was like
yeah.
prove me wrong. Basically, it's like it's not as if he was just speaking to himself the whole time. It's literally other people coming up. The only reason they hate him is because he was winning most arguments. But
Well, Charlie's an incredible that's so weird to say. Charlie was a incredible debater, and even though I don't agree with every one of his takes, like I think that anyone can say like he is a great orator. He's great at like he's great at debating, and like few times did he walk away. I don't even know if I've ever seen a video of him where I felt that he's lost an argument because he is just really good at driving home his point. And it's the reason why people get so pissy with him. It's the reason why they show up to these rallies. It's the reason why they want to go up against him. It's the reason that he gets so much attention is because he's really good at it. And I don't think that anyone deserves to be killed over an opinion. I think that that's fucked up. I don't think that
Yeah.
he's ever done anything to anyone to hurt anyone. I
Hold
don't
on,
think
hold on,
that
hold on,
he's
Amy. I see someone listening. Murphy's laughing and doing thumbs down. When you say that nobody should be killed for an opinion, let me bring maybe he
There's
might
a
be a
delay on
crazy
Spaces
motherfucker.
too, but there's like a 5 second delay
no,
too.
Yeah, he might
there's
not
nah,
no
be
he's
able to
That
make
still
it
would
all
be
the
doing
possible
it,
way.
way
insane.
Bobby.
there's a delay on this.
But I also still think that some people should be killed based on their opinions, but not the ones that Charlie Kirk
Are
had.
you
Well,
joking? What did you just say?
Beaver,
Oh,
relax.
Beaver.
Amy, you said since we're talking about Charlie Kirk, and you said you don't agree with some of his stances, I didn't either. I didn't agree with him supporting the genocide in Palestine, for instance. I was wondering if you were comfortable sharing what viewpoints of his that you didn't agree with.
I mean, I don't think that that matters, to be honest, and I don't
Sure,
think
it does. He died. Let's talk about him.
no,
And he
I mean,
got killed for his viewpoints.
no,
He got killed for his view.
Jesus
that's,
He
but
Christ.
got
like,
killed by somebody who didn't agree
no,
with
but
his
the
viewpoints.
viewpoint
Wow.
that I have, the viewpoint that I have that I think that is important to hear is that I don't think that he deserved to be killed, for anything that he's done, and,
Of course
but
not.
No, how could you be?
I don't need to make my platform about what I believe
Okay,
politically.
Bobby,
Like
ask
I can
me.
just say that this man that I didn't fully agree with, I don't disagree with him on a lot of stuff, but I do disagree with him on a handful of things. And I don't think that it's necessary for anyone to know my political views personally. I think that like it doesn't change like
Can I?
everybody's in crypto and like that's the reason I'm building a brand here is like so my opinion on what he believes believed and didn't believe is like irrelevant. It's just the fact that I believe that he didn't deserve to be murdered.
I don't think anyone can believe he deserved to
Agreed.
be murdered, though.
No, there's plenty of people that deserve to
No,
be
Somebody
murdered.
they
just
do, but
said
If
that
you've
it's
though.
like
seen radical
completely
Yeah, it's
leftists,
retarded.
if
crazy.
No,
you
they
It's
have
do.
crazy.
seen
Yeah, but they're fucking mentally ill people. They're like mentally ill
But the thing
And the
that
losers.
thing is, it's
surprises me is how many mentally ill people there
well,
are. Like,
no, there's not
Yeah,
that
they're
many
all
mentally ill
celebrating it on
people,
TikTok. It's
Toshi.
crazy.
Listen, it's on like you said, it's on TikTok, it's on Instagram, and these people are the lowest of the low dregs of society. The only reason why they're transgender or identify alt left in the first place with shaved sides of their heads is because everything they do is performative, trying to be the most virtuous one in their group. And so whoever can say the craziest, most callous thing is going to get more views and more hoorays from the other band of lunatic retards. That's all they are. They're not mentally ill. They're fucking lonely and probably bad socially.
yeah, I don't get it. It's always the people who have absolutely nothing about them that can ever be accepted. Like, there's nothing good about them. They're not funny. They're not attractive. They don't have very good social skills. So the only thing they have is this crazy shit. But then they find each other, and they're all crazy, and then they make each other worse, basically. Because then it's like, let's say each
See,
friend
like
group is
They
20
become
somebody
dirty
brainwashed.
people.
somebody
Yeah, but
said
then
that
they get
like
worse and worse because they push each other to go further and further, and then one of
Yeah.
the idiots does something like today.
yeah, and then that's why like people with those opinions, like I think that probably the world would get better if we just killed all of them. Like that's what I was talking
Yeah, but
about in
that's a
terms of
retarded take
opinions.
as well, Beaver. That's
Why?
genuinely retarded because you can't just say their opinions deserve death, but someone else's opinions don't.
Why not?
Unless you're talking about the person who actually shot
Wow.
them. I don't agree
Well,
with you.
well,
Well, an opinion,
It's
that's
about
not
the
an
it's
opinion then,
about the
Toshi. That's an
definition.
action.
Hold
You
on,
know?
hold
Wait, wait,
on, hold
wait,
on,
wait,
hold
wait.
on.
What did Beaver say though? He said the one who shot him deserves to be
Yeah,
shot.
besides that, Alec has the hands up. Respect people that have hands up. He should talk. I'll let you speak. Speech, freedom of speech, whatever.
Thanks, Iseem. I honestly am surprised at how good of a host you are. So thank you for being a good
Yeah,
host.
I'm trying. I copy
I want
Miri.
to I want I want to say that it's a really unfortunate day because, obviously someone was murdered, but we live in a country built on, not all of us, but the majority of, I think, a lot of us do live in a country where we're built on democracy, and democracy is a place where you're allowed to have open forum and discuss and vote, and it doesn't pay to be a sore loser. This is where you have to kind of make your voice heard, and a man who literally built his career on open debate and making content and having opinions, who actually didn't have political impact as it relates to swinging votes. He just spoke on topics that were controversial. His whole career was about bringing these discussions to the table and having critical thinking be at forefront of all these discussions. And for all of us who are opinion leaders, for the most part, like that's the whole KOL, that's the OL and KOL. He was a KOL, and it's terrible that he was killed for being one. And I don't agree with a lot of what he said, and I don't have to, but I can agree with the fact that no one should be executed, whether privately or publicly, in front of their family, in front of supporters, and on the internet, where his children will be able to see his death. I mean, that's traumatic. That is,
did
I
y'all
mean,
see a picture of him with like his family, like his whole family?
yeah, I mean, it's
Fucking so
devastating.
sad, dude.
Can I
It's like,
also just say I agree with a lot of the shit he said?
I mean, listen, you can agree with whatever he said, but it's like, I don't, I don't,
99%.
I don't hate you for it.
95.
I like Jordan. I don't hate you for it at all.
No, no,
You're
no,
allowed to.
100%. I don't believe in political identities apart from in America, though. It's crazy. It's like, bro, you guys literally judge each other on who you vote politically. I know that some of you have been to Europe, hopefully. Like, we don't really, in any of the countries in Europe, it's not really a thing to discuss politics. We never really talk about it. It's not so deep. There's like 3 months every 4 years where people talk about it. But with you guys, it's like genuinely, you can't hang around with the other side almost.
Like
I
people
mean,
Race
will
war coded.
unfollow people on social media if you find out someone that you went to high school with or something like that that you were like really good homies with, and then like start posting politically on like whatever side, and if you disagree with it, they'll like be like fuck that person. I don't want to have any contact with them. Like that's like the energy of the United States of America. But I don't think that it's like apples to apples with Europe though, because European politics don't typically end in murder. Like it just
How is
doesn't.
it? How's it become this extreme though?
It's
They
much more
kind
Like,
of
is it
centered in
are.
social
Europe. That's
media?
why.
Is it?
Like
I
left
think
and
it
right is
became
much more
I think it
central,
became
I
this
think.
social media
speaking
amplifies it.
specifically to this, I think it's because no right-wing conservative has ever went campus to campus. Campuses are historically liberally funded, liberal leaning, left leaning institutions from the top down. And there hasn't been a young conservative voice. Maybe every campus he went to, he changed 5 people's minds. Well, if he goes to 1,000 campuses, it could swing a county, a county spot, or if he goes to 1,000 schools in the state, it can swing maybe an election, a couple thousand votes in an election. It's because he was speaking to people that he didn't agree with. That's why he was killed. They
Well, I
I
wouldn't
didn't.
say that
see. Do
that's
you want to
They
why he
killed
was
listen
him.
to
killed.
this? Do you want to listen to this thing you pinned to the top? That's Donald
I
Trump's.
I I think
No, I
I
just
think he
pinned
was
it.
killed to distract
People
people
can
from
listen if they want.
Irina's murder. I think that's why he was killed. I think it was a government operation. They fucking assassinated him to distract everybody.
That's some like,
Psyop.
yeah, some black
Yeah,
pill.
it's a psyop. Everything's a psyop, dude. And the government's done it
Most things
before. They
are.
did it with 9/11. They did it with fucking the Iran war. They did it with
If you
Ukraine. They're
take it
doing
from
it with
that
Charlie
angle, though,
Kirk.
they wouldn't. I don't think it would necessarily be in their best interest
You
to
have to backfire, right?
kill
No, it's
somebody
the only
who.
thing. It's the only
Yeah,
thing
he
that
was
they
on their
could get.
side.
No,
Well,
Because
it's not even
everybody
on
who
the bipartisan
everybody who would be
on it.
talking about Irene would have been like would be the ones that are talking about Charlie Kirk. So they had to kind of like take the air out of everybody's lungs.
But Charlie
Uh,
Kirk was for the Second Amendment, and if it was a liberal smear, like or liberal intended, then the whole point would be that they would be essentially backfiring on their own opportunity to make this a part of their campaign process.
no,
Because
Um,
no,
using someone's death, using
Listen, let me
someone's
finish my
death.
point. Let me finish my point. My point was if you think it comes from a CIA, State Department, deep state type entity, then they're the ones who essentially founded modern media, CNN, Fox News, MSNBC, and they're the ones behind it pushing narratives. So why would they assassinate somebody who further deepens the divisiveness
because he didn't
between
really deepen
races?
that much divisiveness, and also
I
Irina was the
categorically
thing.
disagree with that.
Irina was a much more divisive, and like that. I mean, that was a massive powder keg, and I think if it had gone on for a couple more days, we'd have seen humongous tidal waves nationally, just in terms of protests and other things. And Charlie Kirk or somebody like him is basically the only person that you can kill that gets everybody who was militant about Irina to start talking about him. Because everybody who's going to talk about Charlie Kirk was already basically like militantly pro Irina. I think it's the only thing they had that they could use to put water on the fire. I mean, because like if you give white people a George Floyd, dude, like you understand what's going to happen. Like we're not looting targets, dude. We're going to government buildings. Like it's going to be bad,
Yeah,
So they had to fucking stop it.
I think
um,
as well, it's like from what I see from the outside perspective, though, it does appear like when things like this happen, the right appears to me, I could be wrong, to have a lot more common sense on matters than the left will just take a stance based on something they've heard on a TikTok from months ago, and they can't change their mind on anything. Like Irina, for example, was a refugee from Ukraine. Technically, not really the what do you call it, poster girl for the right, but you have to like back it when a girl gets murdered like innocently, you know. Charlie Kirk being killed, they're told, okay, you have to hate this person, he's right wing. They're literally supporting and part like people are talking about getting drunk about this and celebrating someone being killed who just had political views. He wasn't even in a position of power really. He just had strong political views. A lot of people agreed with him, so he was famous. There's nothing else to it, but they can't like get out of their mental block
Yeah, but
that something's wrong.
the damage control they have to do here is minuscule compared to the damage control they had to do with Irina. Because Elon Musk was tweeting fucking like 5 times an hour talking about the white genocide in Europe as well as like in America. He was fucking on top of his game. Like Andrew Tate, they were funding a mural fund. I think they still are to have Irina's face painted everywhere all over the cities. Like I think they have a lot less damage control to do with Charlie Kirk dying than they do with the whole Irina
I don't
situation.
The
know. Do
only
you not
reason
think
I
both
disagree with
happening?
that is
Yeah,
because
both.
Charlie Kirk was probably a top 4 or 5 person on social media that was a mouthpiece for all of the opinions that were
His
being
takes weren't
espoused.
that. They were just kind of common sense though. Like if you're not a retard, like most of what he said is just like, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, but do you not
um,
think,
Whereas
Beaver, this is like a double whammy basically with both? It
I
could be
I
worse.
totally I totally
no,
think it
no,
is a
it's not
double
like
whammy.
that.
I think that this is going to be now
100% is.
it's just it's this close in succession like happening in 1 month. It's absolutely going to be compiled into a bigger thing, and it was already a pretty big fucking thing. When if it was just going to be
I think it'll be
isolated.
co-opted and corrupted. I think the original Irina movement would have led to good things for everybody. And I think now that Charlie Kirk's dead, which is like very sad, but it like now it's more like left versus right instead of actual social
We have Nick
reform.
Fuentes.
Listen, I don't
That's a
know
good
if any of
point.
you guys, I mean, most of us have been in the space since Donald Trump posted this video. Do you guys care to listen to it? Because I would like to listen to it if I could play it over the
I
speakers.
listened to it. It's kind of
Is it worth it?
It's
I
basically
mean
him reading
nothing.
his tweet out loud.
Okay, so we
Yeah,
don't need to
nothing
listen to
spicy.
it.
So
Also, I see Swag Surf had the hands up. I don't know if you still have your point, if you want to talk about it, and then below G want to hear a little bit each point of view. Because Beaver and Bobby, you monopolizing the speech in here. I feel that you have a lot of power, like equity. Okay, so yeah, equity.
It's because they're on the right.
Thank you, brother. Thank you, brother. I just want to thank God for this opportunity to come together in unity after such a tragic loss. I've been receiving calls from brothers, Democrats, independents. A lot of people don't know that there's actually in America, I think it's a total of 167 parties. Somehow, almost symbolically, I got confirmation of exactly 100 parties. And we're going to be doing a freedom rally. So just stay tuned on that. Turning Point is a great group. A lot of people understand what they've done for fairness in the country, and I'm just grateful that I have had the opportunity to work with them. I remember when they first started out and they had the opportunity. I think I was in Alameda, California, and you could basically like you didn't even have to go to college. You could set up like a little organization. You go to the website and they'll send you all the pamphlets. And I thought it was so cool, so I got involved and got all the pamphlets. So and again, this is a little emotional for me, but at the end of the day, I'm just so overwhelmed that so many people from so many different sides with so many different beliefs have been unifying. That's my time. Thank you.
You make me emotional, but I will not cry. To stand hard.
I seem stands hard. Yes.
Yeah.
I seem strong.
I'm gonna be rotating also for the people that don't talk a lot, or you raise your hand and give your point of view. And now we have a special guest, biggest guest ever, Baloji in the stage.
Welcome.
Hey, how are you guys? How are you, Isim? It's been a long time. Miss you, buddy. Salam alaikum.
Alaikum salam.
Um, I just want to say, like, um, I condemn all sorts of violence. I don't care. Personally, I could care less about Charlie. I don't like him. I don't like his views. I don't like how he describes, my ethnicity, Palestinians and stuff like that. I really don't like the dude. But I condemn violence, and towards anybody on earth, violence is the worst thing that could possibly happen. But from a political point of view, um, I think there has been a lot of tension between the right wing and the left wing, and I think like right now, especially right this second, after the event that happened today, there are a lot of groups that are I've been seeing videos. I don't know about you guys, but I've been seeing videos online about certain groups like getting armed up and stuff like that, just to try and cause more violence in the states. Now it's a little bit it's crazy times, but it's also crazier times for the United States individuals and citizens. It is because it might cause what we didn't want to happen when Pamela was running for office. We thought there was going to be some sort of a civil war, and
I'm sorry. Did you
right
say
now after
Pamela?
Kamala. So now with the events that are happening today and that happened yesterday, 2 days ago, there's a lot of tensions in the states, and not only that, Israel, what they did in Doha in Qatar earlier as well, is actually has a lot of effects on the United States, because the United States are taking payments from Qatar to actually secure airspace and secure the country in Qatar. That's the deal between Qatar and the United States. But after the United States failing into securing their country, will the 1.4 trillion dollars signed with Trump like go away? Like what? Like there's a lot of hypocritical things that are happening across the world, and it's purely focused on the United States and it's purely focused on Israel. Are they complicit together towards certain events, or are they just moving alone and they're kind of like trying to separate themselves, which we all know, it's kind of ridiculous, because literally 85% of Congress is paid by APAC, and APAC is a foreign entity that we all know is Israel. Um, so yeah, at the end of all of this, if you are in a certain city or whatever that you feel some sort of fear towards your life or towards your families, I would highly recommend you to like protect yourself. I recommended all of my friends in the States. I told them like arm yourselves, you know, buy some food, whatever, whatever. Even though probably nothing is gonna happen, but just in case, because you never know. And yeah, other than that, I mean, like I'm happy to join this conversation with you
Thanks,
guys.
Belogi. That was very insightful. Great, good looks. That was all I've learned. I'm honestly, it's one of the few times that I can say that I'm so glad that you talked for 2 minutes straight. And in this specific scenario, I have no idea what the point was or or what you really said.
Yeah.
Other than if your point was it was Israel, I'm inclined to agree. It's typically them.
I
Usually
mean,
they're the guys behind the stuff, but yeah.
yeah, I mean, my point is definitely Israel because also if you, I don't know if you
Oh
didn't
no.
see it before, it's Tucker Carlson and Piers Morgan are actually had a debate earlier, well, recently, and the debate was about 9/11 and how some Israeli intelligence students, art students, were actually celebrating the strikes on 9/11 and how the Israeli government was actually aware of what was happening. So it's like a lot is aligning with some sort of a shadow plan that probably all of us are gonna call a conspiracy theory, but in theory, it's like you can't call a conspiracy if that's exactly what your eyes are seeing. Like it's like when you look at an apple and it's red, you're not gonna look at it and say, "Oh,
Chase
it's
has his
orange."
hands up. Chase,
Yeah.
should we go to
Let's
Chase?
go to
He's got his
Chase
hand up.
because I also
Yeah.
worry that Belogi as well. He said he doesn't believe anything Charlie Kirk said, and I do think Belogi's the type of person if they say one thing he doesn't agree with, then he doesn't agree with anything they say. Also,
No,
Arabi's
you're
been here
wrong.
for ages, so I think Arabi is
Yeah.
first.
Yeah. All right, Araby, you go ahead. I'll go after.
I didn't see
I
what he
just
was
wanted to
saying.
say, nobody deserves to die that way unless they've taken a life. Charlie Kirk hasn't taken a life, therefore he doesn't deserve to die this way. I don't agree with his takes at all. I'm literally Arab, and I don't agree with his takes.
Oh
But
my god, that explains your name. Holy shit. I just realized.
yeah,
Beaver. You don't
shut
agree
up,
with
Beaver.
any of his
I'm
takes.
being no. There are some takes I agree with, but the take that kind of like hits home, I don't agree with, like the Palestinian issue. But there are takes like, I don't know, abortion. There are some things that he says
Transgenderism.
about abortion I agree with. Huh?
Transgenderism.
Yeah, and that too.
Well, you don't even know his
But
take, do
yeah.
you?
So
So how can
basically
you
it was
agree?
No,
just the
no, no. He doesn't.
Paladines.
Yeah, he was literally talking about trans before he was flipping killed, bro.
Yeah, his
Anyways,
last words were
yeah,
But
you're
yeah,
right,
almost
no
Arabi.
one.
really
But
embarrassing.
yeah, no one deserves to die that way, bro.
I have been
Uh,
something interesting.
Okay, no, let's go to Chase. Let's go
Chase
to
is
Chase.
next. Chase is
Yeah, Chase
next.
is next.
So,
I can't. I wanted
I
to just like get back on track after what Belogi said because he just like, yeah. Thank you.
Yeah,
so
facts. Thanks,
um
Arabi.
I just got to the space like 5 minutes ago, so I don't know what you guys have already talked about, but to me, there's just something very fishy about this. Um, Especially kind of like there's something very fishy about the kid that attempted to kill Trump and that other guy that attempted to kill Trump at the golf course. And the media kind of swept those guys under the rug, and we still know nothing about those people to this day. So I really think that people need to demand that we find out everything about these people, especially the guy from today who I guess is still out there and not in custody.
Government
I want to
agent,
know,
yeah.
yeah, like I don't want to hear, oh, the same story. Oh, his house was swept clean, and we're not going to tell you guys anything, and it's going to be forever classified. Like that's some bullshit. Because yeah, it very well could be. He could be an intelligence asset, from who knows where, from maybe Israel. But I think just like what happened today is like clearly the inner workings of evil. Okay, and If it's not clear to you guys, it's to me the left is the one inciting evil. Okay, like they're the ones doing this shit over and over again, and it has to stop, man.
Yeah, in this case, you're probably right. It's a government agent. However, it does bring a curious question up, which is who else do we have that's a moderate right wing voice? It seems that Charlie Kirk was the most. I mean, maybe Steven Crowder, but he wasn't nearly as viral.
You think that he's
Yeah,
moderate?
No, I mean
Charlie.
like a moderate conservative. Like Charlie was very tolerant and like he tread very softly
But I
on a
wouldn't
lot
call
of
him
ground.
moderate. By any means. I think
He's a
that
moderate conservative.
he's not a moderate
No, I wouldn't
conservative.
call him a moderate.
Okay,
He's pretty
Like
right
just because
wing.
he
who's
was
a
just because
moderate
he was
conservative?
he's a civil
Patrick Bet
he's a
David.
civil conservative. Like
Dana
he was
Jackson.
debating, but he
Nikola
wasn't doing
Tesla.
anything outlandish. He's not being rude to people. He just is
Nikola
debating.
Tesla was a Nazi, Fishy.
I
So
want to
yeah,
say though that Charlie, I think, is
Pretty
one of the
conservative,
bravest
right? No.
people. I think Charlie
pretty
was one of the
moderate.
bravest fucking people alive because for a long time people have been threatening him, and he knew that he was potentially a target to violence because he gets death threats every fucking day, and he's extremely brave and he died a hero, and that's it. And he
That's a good
influenced
point. Yeah,
he
no.
influenced millions of young people in this country that didn't feel like they had their opinions validated by anyone, that didn't feel like they could talk openly about their opinions. Was kind of the figurehead of a huge movement, and not in any way was that movement radical or
Dude,
tyrannical.
and that's what I mean. They got the last guy that my generation listens to on the right who's not radical. Like the next step over from Charlie Kirk is Nick Fuentes, and he's like leagues and bounds much more open about his beliefs and is unafraid to talk about them. Like if you were a person in like college or high school and you looked up to Charlie Kirk and looked forward to his talks, the next step for you is further right. It's not going to get any better, I think, the political landscape in terms of like coming to a consensus. Like this is widened the gap by fucking light years, and it's kind of set in stone like the direction that we're going to have to take here before any sort of moderate actions like
Well, don't
considered.
you think that Charlie Kirk was just like a little bit more accessible than some of the
That's what I
more
mean. Yeah, he was
like
the last accessible conservative.
w-
I mean, except for like
like
Tucker Carlson, but Tucker Carlson's it's a different sort of thing.
Tucker Carlson isn't even like I agree and disagree. I think that he is more of like a media figurehead than a
Yeah,
opinion leader. Like I think that he leads discussions, but I don't think he's putting his opinions and arguing them. I think he's just more
yeah,
so.
Just
he's
after you,
almost
Amy,
yeah.
there's a lot of hands raised.
Yeah, let's run it.
I think it's Pally's first, and then we go for Chul and Swag again. Can be cool.
Okay. So the first thing I'll say is I respectfully disagree with the people who said that Charlie is not a moderate conservative. I think he is like the epitome of what a moderate conservative is in America. And I think if you are thinking he's a pretty far right conservative, you're just out of touch with what's happening with the right wing in America. Um, he represents basically the baby boomer tolerant uh, right wing but Christian side of the Republican establishment. And I have a different take. I think it was very interesting the people who were saying that this was done by a government operative to distract from the Ukrainian girl. Personally, I think if it was done by a government agency, which I think is a real possibility because this was a 200-yard, very professional shot that would have had, as some people tweeted, would have had to consider wind, drop, You know, he had a couple inches, hit a neck shot. This was a professional sniper. Whoever shot this was a very experienced and good shooter, regardless if they're a lone wolf or not. Okay. So it is a possibility that there was some kind of organization behind it. If you want to know my opinion, if it was an organization, I think it's actually the opposite of brushing the Ukrainian girl under the rug. I think it's more that that organization wants to radicalize the right wing of America and wants more division, wants more destabilization in America, wants, you know, radicalization on both sides. And that's been a trend that's been happening for, at this point, at least 30 years. And we can see now that it's a reality, right? We have people like Nick Fuentes who are now very relevant and popular, whereas 10 years ago they were very fringe and not accepted by their party. Um, and I think that's accelerating. And really, if you want my opinion, I think the West and America is under attack. And I don't think it's really about race. Like, I think race is one of the angles of destabilization. So, sure, there's an aspect
See,
there. It's a
that's why they had to get rid of the Irina narrative.
I mean, I disagree. I think I'm basically making the argument that they're doing the opposite, that they're trying to pour gasoline on it, that they are trying to
No, no, no.
use it
The
to
gasoline's
destabilize.
already been poured. They're trying to change it to. They're trying to bring the fire over to a different part.
Okay,
The
okay,
the
well, you can
thing
talk after
the
me. We've already heard this take from you, and that's what I was
not
referring to,
really.
and I think it's an interesting take, but I have a different take. My take is I think that uh that was a random attack. I think nobody thinks that black dude was in any way motivated other than being a crazy schizo
He was
criminal.
motivated by
Okay,
race, but
but
yeah.
sure. Okay, sure. Maybe, yeah. But what I'm saying is that this was a political assassination. That's very different. It happened a day later. Your argument is that they're trying to sweep that under the rug. My argument is that they're tired of these one-off things not causing the reaction that they want in the population, actualization and violence, and they're trying to pour gasoline on it and actually get the reaction they want, which is real. They've been pushing the narrative of right-wing violence for a long time and they haven't been getting it, and I think they're going to keep provoking until they do get it. I don't think that's a conspiracy that's like anti-white or anti-right wing. I think that the America is the last real citizenry of power in the world. Now that's like a complex argument that we could get into, but I think that America, so, like the powers are trying to destabilize America, pitting us against each other by race and tribalism, by political party, is a goal there to destabilize. And you have to understand that this is a calculated move, and they knew there was going to be reaction, and that reaction was calculated. Now, was it to brush the Ukrainian girl under the rug, or was it to create destabilization, create radicalization? We can disagree there.
Both.
I think it's the latter. Yeah.
Both, because they can't control, like, the last time white people had a fucking hullabaloo, really bad shit happened. Like, insane, world-ending, nation-destroying shit happened. I think they
Hold
know
on,
they can't do
real
that
quick,
again.
Beaver. I don't understand the point of saying that. Where's the link between the Ukrainian girl and Charlie Kirk
The
assassination?
proximity and time of the events.
Ugh, that's not enough.
And also just the media coverage. Like, Charlie Kirk's death was covered by every major news outlet within 30 minutes of it being confirmed. Irina's death was covered by like maybe 10 before the night was over. And then still days later, very few of them have posted even more than one article about it.
Yeah, like the Times didn't have anything within like 48 hours
Mm-hmm.
mentioned in it. And like there's a purpose for that. Like there's certain publications in the United States that lean right and left. And you can kind of see by the way that the the media and the world reacts to stuff why people are tethering these two together because it it is tied to political stuff that maybe if you're an outsider and you're not a U.S. citizen, you wouldn't know off rip. But something that most of us that are in the United States, like, we we recognize some of that.
Yeah, but I mean, sure, the whole idea that like people who are running news media want destabilization, I think that's accurate. That's fair. That makes sense.
Chulo,
The
you still
reasons,
have something to say, Chulo?
Yeah,
I don't know.
absolutely, brother. A couple of things, right? One, I think it's very egotistical of the people here today. The first things that they say, even myself included, the first thing they say in their topic of the conversation is, "I don't agree with so and so," or they have to push some type of political agenda that they have on their own, which is really fucking weird when we're talking about a man who's died today, no matter who they are. But instead, it's let me push my political agenda because this person's dead. This is a great moment for what I need to say. It's fucking weird. And I hope a lot of people have like some type of shame towards that, because it's just not right. So just remember just to hug your loved ones at the end of the day. But even outside of that too, the only people that are pushing themselves away when we say it's like media and stuff like that, it's also weird as well. It's you yourself, you know, you're kind of pushing people away based off skin color or however. Like I don't think any of these things, everything that you're seeing today happen, and the way people are reacting online, you're purposely pushing like people away. Get rage baited by whoever the fuck you want to be, and you see these like weird comments where people are like, "Yo, rest in piss," you know, things like that are very disgusting. And then you see that, but you have to take that with just it's somebody on the internet truly just trying to get a reaction out of you. Just love yourself, love people around you. That's all you can do, and that's it.
you're going to heaven.
Swag, serve your hands raised.
Hey, thank you. I apologize earlier. I appreciate my brother who just spoke because we got to remember a lot of times. I remember I was over at Yale University I'm not trying to dox myself, but I was going through the political class with Yale, Young Americans for Liberty. And basically they teach us that like they say take an extreme, right? They like go far left, go far right. That's not even to get the monetization. That's just to get donors, right? So that's just like the system, like Twitter is a specific design, right? And it does that. So that was the one thing. Then the second thing, I just wanted to kind of get into some of this foreign politics. Um, I'm not going to do that, but I just want to say, hey, I really appreciate everybody. We did have some big things that was supposed to come out on the White House. We made some comments on that, and the paper is up on the SEC website. You can check out the crypto task force. Unfortunately, President Trump wasn't able to release it because the nation is what they're on. But already we see in Dubai, the tokenization of assets is really transforming the landscape. And we just got some like when we punched these numbers, we couldn't believe it. And like I'm not going to say too much, but the full report is there. There's another group that's working with MAGA in clothing. It's called MAG, Making America Greater. That's like the Democrat arm of the Trump legacy. So now MAG and MAGA, left and right, is working together, and we're connecting everybody in between. I'm a life. What am I? A libertarian, right? And I paid $2,000. I'm a member for life. Thank y'all again.
Clap it up for yourself. I'm not
Well, I
American.
don't.
I don't know what's the situation really, but it feels good to have different type of views, even if you not right with everyone. But yeah, especially Americans should be really impacted by this news. And I wanted to hear do it big Chicago with the new Drewski profile picture. What's your point of view?
I don't know. I'm just catching up to everybody's conversation. Barely been here, but it's a fucked up day. I mean, I think everybody's allowed to have an opinion. I don't know who it was, like a couple people ago, that says like you shouldn't have like an opinion in a spot like this. Like you can have an opinion, just don't fucking be a complete dick about it, you know. But for lack of a better, I mean, that's kind of how things get figured out. Is people have opinions and you state them as facts instead of opinions. There's something wrong, but an opinion can never be a lie. An opinion can just be wrong, you know. So like that's the big
100%.
That's the big difference. I mean, you can all like sit here and say if Polymarket had odds on who it was, like we know who the favorite is, but that doesn't mean shit, you know? Like, or like all the people who are posting up, like, who says it has to be about politics? It's like, dude, he's a political debater. Like, you just have to assume it's not like, this is happening because, like he said, Fruit Loops are better than corn puffs. Like, like you can rule out like a couple basic things. I think it's weird they've arrested 3 people so far, and none of them seem to be the right person. Sounds like fucking BlackRock missed fucking Thomas Cook's part 2. But that's another fucking story. That's opinion, not fact. That's my opinion. That's what I think. But regardless of all that, like, it doesn't really matter. It's shitty that it happened. There's a lot of people that I wish weren't in power. That doesn't mean I wish they were dead. Like, like take that for what it is. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know who the person was when he came up and he said, "Don't start your conversation with political point of view, brother." Like
It's
again,
like we're having a political conversation on Spaces.
yeah,
The
like
title is Charlie Kirk. What the fuck you supposed to talk about? Like,
yeah, 100%. And
I like
Who said
blondes
that
more
that?
than
that
brunettes. Like what the fuck? Like, this is the
that
conversation. Like, don't be a
that's
prick
why that's
about
why
it.
when I said that's why when I said like I really don't like the dude, but I condemn violence, right? Like the dude literally was a supporter of genocide. Like
Listen,
what the fuck you?
if you want to get into like that, like, do I agree with a lot of things he says? Sure. Do I like make it a point to talk about a lot of the things he says? No, because like it's not my spot. Like, you can have a stance on abortion, you can have a stance on trans people. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't impact you, so who gives a fuck? Like,
A
yeah,
hundred
Well, like
I
percent.
both of
dislike
those
I
things
dislike
impact
Charlie
me though.
Kirk's stance. I dislike his stance on Israel. Same reason I dislike Trump's stance. Like it doesn't change it.
A
Not
hundred
like
percent.
fucking
I think,
Trump isn't
guys,
the
wait,
best.
between you two, Belogi and Do It Big, do you guys think that, like, if you ignored everything he said about Israel, that you'd say Charlie Kirk was right about pretty much most things?
I wouldn't say
Not
he's
really,
right. Like,
no.
like for example, like if you want me to be honest, like, take like abortion, take trans, take the things that he's like talking about. Are a lot of them statistically right? Sure, but that doesn't mean like he's just giving an opinion on it. It's not stating a fact. Like, call it what it
So,
is. If somebody wants to be
right.
trans, like it's not really affecting my life. If trans shooters become a problem, then you want to talk about it. If he says that, somebody should be what they were born, so be it. If he says somebody,
Yeah, but
shouldn't have an
But,
abortion,
like,
so be
what
it.
happens
Like,
what
if,
if you have a daughter and then a guy wants to go into the changing rooms with her? Then it does
So,
affect your
so,
life.
so, yeah. So, listen, I 100% agree and stuff like that. Like, just
And I'm
like
not giving my opinion. I'm just
I
saying
have a,
this is how it can
no, I'm
affect your
saying I
life.
have a stance on stuff, but that doesn't mean that like my stance is right or somebody else's stance is wrong. At least with
so
that
then
kind of
does that
shit.
mean that you do agree with
Like,
him?
listen? I'm gonna tell you like this. I don't care what anybody fucking says. My opinion is that if you take any kid and put them for 18 years in a room where they don't have access to information that changes their thought process, stuff comes out more natural than when a kid grows up on the internet. If you don't have a parent, I mean, people can say whatever you want, but like most fucking kids who have a problem in life, I'm not saying you blame the parents directly, but you blame the upbringing. Like, like if
Yeah.
you put somebody around nothing but good things and positive everything and they're sheltered from everything, they're not going to know about the other things.
Well, I also
So, like, whatever it is, doesn't make it wrong.
I,
Also, Balogi, I think he has a stance on a very complicated situation. When you say like he supports genocide, he wasn't committing the genocide. He had a stance on a very complicated matter. So I
Sure,
No,
I'm
no,
think
just
you're
saying.
no.
saying it.
Listen
Tushi,
here.
there's nothing
October 7th was
complicated.
wrong.
There,
October 7th was wrong. But what happened after October 7th was wrong, and I would say more wrong.
I
That
agree.
doesn't mean like two wrongs don't make a right is the whole point.
No,
Like,
of course
What was
not.
hold on.
happening before was
Let me fix.
also
Let
wrong.
me fix your stance on this. This particular occupation and apartheid have been going on for the last 75 years. What happened on October 7 is definitely wrong. I'm not saying it's not, but it is always a political narrative agenda that is being pushed into towards the favor of who owns the media, right? Which
Balogi,
is we
this
all
is
know
one
who
thing
it
that
is.
really annoys me when people say though that the media is being pushed to support a certain side. Because if you look at the stance of the people who are consuming the media in, let's say, the UK and the US, which are, I imagine, are the two countries you're aiming it towards, I would say the majority of them support Palestine. So how is the media so
Now,
controlled and so
yes.
No, no, no. I
one-sided?
don't. I don't think. I
Now
don't.
that they see that there has been a
How do they
huge
see it if the
starvation.
media is
Now,
controlled? How do they see it?
well,
Because you
now
could
because
because they if you it's like the thing where they say if you like tell somebody the answer to something 100 times in a room and then ask them even knowing it's wrong, people are still going to get that wrong. You say 2 + 2 is 5 enough times to somebody, people are still going to be off. Like, listen, dude, I wouldn't
No,
be
but
in
it's
my
a
fucking
long
opinion
term
is
plan.
not that
if
the
hundred
Israel
media.
if
percent.
But
Israel wasn't doing what they were doing 50 fucking years ago, I wouldn't be here right now because my dad would have never taken off from fucking Lebanon. So like, there's pros and cons to fucking everything. You
hundred
know, like
percent.
do I, and during all that time, there are people that were wrong on both sides. There's no such
okay, but
thing as
you're
like
they're saying okay, let's say for Lebanese people then okay, America's so terrible, blah blah. But you've obviously moved to America, lived there, and been accepted.
sure, my dad came here and so I was born. So be it. Like,
Yeah.
listen,
So this
listen,
whole
people.
like America's like how many of them, how many people from the Middle East move to the UK and the US? How many people from the US and the UK move over there? It's much
But
less.
listen,
Because they
there's no
can't
such
stop
thing as a
fucking bombing us. Like
there's no
where
such
the
but
fuck do you
listen,
want
there's
us to
no such
go?
thing as a bad race. There's bad people of every race. There's no such thing as a bad gen. Like it's just the truth. Like listen, I mean, call it what you want. Like, I can sit here
Bro,
and say that I don't agree with the stance of a country. I don't agree with the stance of people who are hypocritical. That doesn't mean like some of my best friends aren't Jewish. Like, it doesn't change that. Like, some of the nicest people I've ever met like are Jewish. It doesn't change that. So like, it's not like a you have to bulk everybody into the
Yo,
middle of
yo,
it.
yo,
maybe
yo,
a
yo.
bit.
Yeah, see, I
I'm
don't like that.
Jewish.
Yeah, but the problem is we need to do the difference between religion and then ethnicity and even countries. Like, do the difference between Jewish and Muslims and Christians. That's the only thing that I will say on this space, and then keep up on whatever you want to say. Just respect each one religion and do the difference between like Zionist or Jew or whatever you want.
Yeah, look, I'm not either.
Elon mute.
Who's that?
It's like second mute after you unmute.
Yeah, look, dude, I don't I'm agnostic. I don't really care. Like you can be a fucking you can believe in potatoes if that's what you want to fucking make your religion. I'm not gonna fucking judge you. Like what I think is everybody should be good people. So do I think that bad people did something on October 7th that's bad? Do I think the Holocaust was bad? Yes. Do I think that what's happening in the Middle East right now is fucking bad? Yes. But you can't like sit here and go, well, because you did this. It's like scammers in crypto. It's like people are like, well, everybody's fucking rugging people. So like, why don't I participate? Like, I don't
Who's
agree with
saying
that.
that?
What?
A lot of Nobody is people. Saying that.
People in this space justify
Oh, in the
like
space.
yeah, I'm
Okay.
saying
I wasn't saying that.
if we're comparing it to crypto, like yeah, sure, there's plenty of fucking people in this space who are like, well, if everybody else is doing it and crime's legal, like cool story. That doesn't make it morally right. Some of the stuff people do in this space doesn't matter on that. Like, dude, if the Latin Kings fucking shot up a school in Chicago, we're not bombing fucking Pilsen in Little Village. Like that's not gonna happen. Like it's the same kind of logic, you know. Like there's bad on both sides. Do I think the leaders of pretty much every fucking country are fucking shitty? Yes, absolutely. Like, you know, but it doesn't, this isn't even like a that. Like, I don't think I'm leaning more to this that a lot of what happened here is somebody was personally offended. I offended fucking a lot of people, bro. I got swatted 3 times in the past fucking 3 weeks and had 100 service calls. I don't know which group of people I made fun of and is too sensitive to fucking all this stuff is doing it. Like, you know, like it is what it is. Could it be an ex-girlfriend? Cool. Could it be fucking somebody who's Jewish? Cool. Could it be somebody who's mad that I said the word fucking retard? Like, sure, you know, but they're all independent fucking things. You know, I'd never fucking tell somebody with a disability they're retarded, but I'll call my friend retarded. Intent is everything.
Clap it up for you. And yeah, I call my friends retarded too sometimes, but that doesn't mean I'm racist. Do the difference. Not a photographer. You have your hand raised. You want to say something?
Yo, thank you. Also, I'm from the UK, so my opinion is based on what I'm seeing from the UK. Firstly, I think someone got shot. That's a problem. I think narratives. A lot of things I've seen is like right wing, left wing, or it's for this reason and that. I think end of the day, someone got shot. That's a problem. Death is death. There's no right or wrong. Violence is violence. But I feel like a lot of people have been trying to put a narrative on top of it, etc. Regardless of Charlie Kirk's and his opinions, I don't agree with it personally, and other people might, but doesn't mean that someone should get shot. But the fact that he got shot in America is crazy. Also, Second Amendment, mad. But I feel like the thing that a lot of people are not looking at is the fact that America is supposed to be the greatest country in the world, but someone got shot. It doesn't matter if you're an influencer, rapper, even a president or an influencer. America is not safe, and I think that's the thing they should be looking at. And also another point that someone else said that they're taking the narrative away from the Ukrainian girl. I find that kind of crazy that they're bringing that up. Also, I'm from the UK. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I just recently found out that American news only shows American news. For us, we have international news, so you lot aren't seeing the stuff that we're seeing. There's a lot of other worse stuff that's happening right now, but to be like, yo, the narrative's changing from that to this, like, there's been a lot of other stuff happening around the world that's like way worse than, my man being shot. But the fact that one guy getting shot is causing so much outrage compared to countries getting bombed, people getting killed, is crazy. But yeah, that's just my stance. But yeah, shout out
Well,
to
I
all
mean,
of you.
maybe because you're not American, you don't fundamentally understand it. Where, Charlie wasn't a politician. Not all political violence is equal. I'm actually for a lot of political violence, but this man was just a speaker. He just went around and he spoke. This wasn't just shooting some politician because you didn't like a law or something. This was attacking a guy for exercising a fundamental right that is at the core of our humanity, which is our right to free speech. This was a total disgusting assassination. Attacking core American values. It's I would just, I'm not usually affected by these things. These things roll off me, but this one hit pretty hard for someone to be shot at a college just for debating. It's disgusting. It's the most un-American thing I've ever seen. So, yeah, I mean, and I mean, people, yes, I mean, our own country bombed something. I was screaming about the war in Yemen back in 2014 when our country was committing a genocide with Saudi Arabia back over there. And no one really gave a shit about that. Now that I say everybody was, bad person, and when someone else gets shot, that, oh, you guys aren't talking about Yemen. No, because I understand people have different priorities. They see different things. Not everybody could be on the news 24/7, right? But yeah, this was just completely heinous, and just an attack on America itself. It was disgusting.
Another point as well that
Like, I
just
completely agree with you. Sorry, like 100%. Like my point is my point. Yours is yours. Like, I agree with you and completely understand. But from what I've heard, 46 school shootings this year, and that was on Charlie. 47th school shooting was literally a few hours later. So I feel like most people's narrative is that this is such a disgusting thing, but that happens regularly. And I think that there's too much media coverage on him rather than
Well,
everything
I mean,
else.
I guess the point didn't get through. I mean, a crazed person going into school and shooting people is one thing. Again, this is a targeted political assassination because someone was talking and exercising one of our core fundamental values, one of our beliefs. That is why this is blown up more than those things, and people are more affected by that because this guy did nothing wrong. He just sat
Okay,
there and
I
he was
agree.
talking.
just to be clear as well
But you're
though, this
also
happened 6 hours ago. So your
sure it's
po-
going to get talked about for
yeah,
6 weeks, maybe
it's gonna
more.
get
Like the
talked
difference is,
about. This is no, but
look at Thomas Crooks.
this is what gets talked about, and also to say, so it's literally been 6 hours, maybe not even that long, 6 or 7 actually. But of course, it's the biggest news right now because of what Bad Brothers said. It's like the exercising of freedom of speech is like super important to Americans, and also the point about like the Israel and Palestine not getting covered. I mean, for the last 2 years, it's been pretty much covered everywhere, and it's been main topic of the news. Pretty much, I think it's the main thing I've read into. So this whole narrative that I think Balochi was trying to push as well, that it's not spoken about enough, is it's literally spoken about every single day, everywhere. There's tweets about it. There's news about it. It's the top page of Sky News, the top of BBC. There's reports on it every day. So, okay,
Rightfully so,
But
though, right?
it's weighted news on every side. If you're on the left or the right, your news is weighted your
yeah, but
direction.
this is how it
Yeah,
works
The
with
whole
news
the whole the whole
stations.
point
it's
is just like
spoken
we're
about, but there are narratives.
Narratives from
yeah,
what
sure.
sides though? Because
There
the
could,
narrative I receive
maybe
is
from both
much more
sides,
support towards Palestine. That's just facts.
because if you're a human, you're meant to support Palestine. Like, Like, if you're seeing these children getting killed every single day, you're meant to support Palestine. Like,
No, but I'm saying, where is the news that doesn't?
what about that
Oh wait, sorry
6-year-old
guys.
girl that was
Also,
shot
thank you to the
300
Americans
times
for
in
showing
her
me your
car?
narrative.
Like,
I appreciate you lot. Thank you for educating me. And yeah.
Much love. Mandem from UK.
I have a question. Bad Brothers, you said earlier that you have some space, or I don't remember exactly how you worded it, for political violence. Can you tell me what you mean by that?
Well, I mean, listen, if you got a dictator or something, or I mean, you could look at what just happened. What do you call? Where was it? I'm forgetting the country now that's above India, but not all political violence is equal type of thing. If someone is throwing people in the camps and you go and attack them, I'm fine. There's reasons and
So
times. There's a
corruption,
reason.
like when it's against corruption, that's when you are.
Corruption, if you need a revolution, anything, tyranny. I'm all for fighting against tyranny. But when someone is literally doing exactly what you're supposed to do, sitting there and debating and exercising in a free exchange of ideas, there is no room for that. I abhor violence anyway. Violence is always the last resort. Even though I hate the state and everything, but that should be. And same thing the founders always said. You don't start revolutions lightly. You don't tear things down lightly. It should always be the last resort. But yeah, I mean, this was nowhere near that. I mean, and to be honest, this goes back 15 years ago, when people on the left started being like, "Oh, it's okay to punch a Nazi, go punch a Nazi," and then other people would say, "No, we shouldn't have political violence like that," and they would be like, "No, Nazi bad. Yes, it's good to punch a Nazi," and that seed of words can be violence carries through what we just saw happen today, where there are people on the left who now think that because people say bad things that they don't like, that is violence, and it is okay to commit violent acts against them, and this is the inevitable thing you see.
Bad. If you don't mind me asking, I agree with you. Also, what's happening in Nepal right now? Crazy. But I just want to know one thing. As Americans, gun violence is like a big thing for us lot, which we don't understand from you lot. Also, the fact that he got shot, like, and he was very much like, pro gun, Second Amendment. Are you guys still okay with that? Do you think there
One
should be
hundred
more stricter
percent.
rules?
I mean, at the
Guns
end
don't
of the
kill people.
day,
People kill
Correct.
people.
the
Guns don't kill
fundamental right
people.
to
People
defend
kill people.
yourself and
I'm
having a
walking my
gun.
dog with a Glock in Chicago right now. That don't change shit. I'm not fucking crazy. Like, like take it for what it is. Intent is everything.
The
But like,
the big problem is that it's like so like I don't know. Toshi said this earlier, and I think that it is something that I want to like double tap on again. Is that like in Europe and other places in the world, if you have political differences, it's not the end of the world. Like you can still like have a pint with them, and it's like not going to be like in America, it does not exist that way. It is like a polarizing line between right and left, and people don't associate. There's not like there's no civil ability, and it like has just been this pressure over the years that has risen like bigger and bigger, and like I think that certain voices getting louder and louder and like social media growing is just making the impact of this so much worse. And no matter what side of the line you're on, like I think you have to recognize that like it's getting fucking ugly. And like I for one like used to come from the industry like music industry, and like I don't feel safe going to concerts anymore. I don't feel safe going to like big public places anymore because I'm worried about like there being crazy shit that happens. Like there's no way I would show up to a political rally um even if I believed in something, because I just think that shit is so out of hand here. And it's not necessarily, in my opinion, a gun violence problem. Guns, yeah, are like causing the violence, but like it's not really guns that are causing the violence. It's the people behind the guns that are causing the violence and that are not able to have like open discourse. Like the guy who was having open discourse on a college campus never hurt anyone, got shot today, you know? So like what does that say about our society? And like what does that show you about the culture that we've allowed to be created in the United States?
No, 100%. I mean, me personally, there's something I've always said where, in terms of as the state grows and as these debates and things become national debates, stuff that we shouldn't even be talking about nationally, where, 90% of the federal government should be at a state level or local level where we should be having these debates. You get detached from things. and that causes people to commit acts of violence when they might not have. There's a bunch of problems, whether it be drugs, this and that. That you can go back 50 years. You can order a Tommy gun in the mail, and you didn't see this type of people going crazy and shooting up people. So what is the issue with that? I don't know, but what do you call? And then just on the gun thing, I mean, at the end of the day, it always comes down to number one. I mean, gun control is dead because you have 3D printed guns at this point, and number two, you get rid of all the guns from private citizens. All you're left with is the people having guns who are responsible for hundreds of millions of deaths, and that would be the government. So it's just like you can't. I'm not going to let them be the only ones with guns, and I'm a weak piece of shit, so I need to be able to carry. But yeah, I mean, what do you call? It's there's especially this thing. It's just like this is fundamental. I mean, we don't know who it is yet. They still haven't caught the guy, but I mean, I would be shocked if it's not some crazed person who, again, is on the left and who thinks, Charlie Kirk's words were violence and they needed to take them out.
But do you not
Yeah,
feel
if you're
like
not
because of
outraged,
that, they should be like, okay, regardless if they're on the left or right, there should be more control on gun, like, who's available to have guns, like their mental health, their state, who they are. Are they
It's
even
a
able?
state law issue.
Yeah, are they even able to like handle a gun? Also, at the same time, I personally believe not everyone should be able to drive, but you can pass the driving test.
I, I
Yeah,
was
but
just going to use the
that
driving example. Is the same way that I feel there's a lot of older people that shouldn't still be able to drive. Like, call that what it is, but like, it's just kind of the truth. We take a test for that. Like, do I think there should be some form of extra controls around like aptitude for owning a gun? Sure. Do I think it's going to totally stop people? No, but I think it's going to like lower the percentage of crazy people with guns.
well, just like for example, marijuana, like before it was legalized, you could get it on the streets. You can get it anywhere. Like you can get a gun if you really want to get a gun. And most of these states have regulations that they get to uphold and make the decisions on, and you can just drive across the border. So it's like uh,
And go look up the gun
it's a
that
convoluted
the guy
issue.
who assassinated Shinzo Abe used in Japan. Japan has some of the strictest gun laws you'll ever seen, and this guy made some homemade cannon because Abe was a part of some, what do you call, religious thing that took all his mom's money or something, and that guy was determined to take him out. So I mean, again, when people are determined, what do you call the alleged guy who blew up that building, what do you call it? Forgetting his name now, but he just used some fertilizer. There was that attack in Nice a few years ago with the truck that killed 50 people, just driving it through there. So people, when they're determined, they'll do that. And find the ways to commit
The
acts of
Boston
violence.
Bombers with the pressure cookers. That shit's
Yeah.
from
Hmm.
fucking Bed Bath and Beyond, fam. And then the hardware where you get the little nails and you put them in there and you pressure cook and boom. Like it doesn't take much to create something that
Like,
is
I
lethal.
agree,
And
but
it's
when
not
you
even a
say Japan, like, yo, the percentage of people, like, obviously that person was crazy and it was determined, but they had regulations and rules, and that's one out of like, X, Y, and Z. But Nice as well, like, that's minuscule. But if you have these rules and things in places, it, like, brings down the percentage of people that are able to do these things. Like, obviously, there's always going to be crazy people. And
but don't forget rules are meant to be broken. That's sort
yeah,
of
of
like
course, but you
the
Yeah,
can
and
still, like,
again, that person in
bring the
Japan
percentage
is
down.
analogous to this. When people are that determined, they will find a way. The problem
Definitely,
is what
but
the fuck happened to them to get that determined.
definitely, but
Do you
also
guys
you
know
can,
anybody that's ever been shot before?
Yeah, plenty
yeah,
from
loads.
Yeah.
Chicago.
But also,
You know what's crazy about
strong.
today is that it's the anniversary of the a year ago today, my friend, literally Gabby, who's in the community, Gigi, she wrote a thread and she came out about talking about it today. Because she never really told anybody what happened. She got shot in the head. She got shot 12 times. Literally just
What?
driving. Yes, due to they were trying to rob the car. She was driving a Lamborghini Urus, the first one ever made. And she got shot. So, I would love to enter this discussion because that is something that I've never spoken out about yet because it wasn't time. And now it's been a year. And Gabby, I've been with her, I've been in Toronto, and now she's back in Dubai and stuff like that. But that's just what everybody was doing, you know? So it's very sad, but I don't think it's
To rug, Mika?
Oh,
Did you get rug?
No, I don't know. But besides that, also where that happened was it in Toronto, in America.
She said
I mean,
the same.
I'm in Chicago. We had
I was
64 people
confused a
shot
little
this
bit.
week.
But Mika, if you are listening, you have free food, unlimited in Montreal.
That was bizarre.
There's new people in here on stage. Crypto Mami, GP. How we call this in English? YP?
Alright,
JP, brother.
JP.
Oh, like JP Morgan. Yeah, my bad. Do
G
you
Hi,
have
I see.
any
GP.
point how we doing today? We're trying to keep it less fucking emotional, less depressed. But yeah, when you talk about death, about guns, about people killing each other, of course, there's another vibe. I'm a guy that likes to laugh, but the last thing that should be laughed about is death and people getting hurt. Kima is back. I said Kima. Mika is back. I said Mika. Was it that in Canada or US? Where was it?
Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we can hear you.
Yo, I see him. I'm fucking laughing at you because literally your name is Charlie Kirk and CT Impact, and you're like, let's not get emotional.
Yeah, I mean, all
I
I'm
see him. I
saying
see
is
him.
like
I see
we
him. I have
need to
something to
talk
say.
about it. What happened? Hey, who's whispering in there?
I see him. Je suis avec quelqu'un. I'm sorry, but I'm
C'est qui?
breaking up with you.
Ah, je m'en
C'est
bats les
quelqu'un
couilles.
d'autre. Et c'est quelqu'un d'autre.
Je dis, je m'en bats les couilles.
quelqu'un
Yo,
plus
c'est.
beau.
Yo,
Ouais,
tu sais qu'est-ce qui
somebody
s'est
plus
passé?
beau.
Tu sais
I
que-
see him. It's over. It's over. It's
It's cool.
over.
Yo,
It's over.
Solana Summer television is coming soon.
What
So
does that
yeah,
mean? I see
my
him. Do
bad.
you want to go to Marrakesh with me?
See now, hey, let's talk about this. I want depression right now.
Uh,
I want to talk about life. I want to talk about what's
uh,
happening in the world, and
I
then we
just
laughed
did, and
after
then you said
that.
you didn't want to. So you're
No, no,
playing games?
it's too late now.
What
It's
type
too
of
late.
host are you? I'm
I
done.
was
Good
calm.
night.
I was fucking
Oh
calm the
my
whole
god.
fucking
Holy
space,
fuck.
and
I
now
know
you
nobody
want to
wants to
make me
listen to
mad.
you.
I'm muting everybody. I'm muting everybody. I have power right now. I'm host. You make me. Why you rage me? I was calm. I was like listening, getting instructed, educated. She exit. Got rugged. My bad.
Bro, I think a lot of people going to grab a narrative to like whatever bag they hold. And I want to explain it specifically what I mean when I say narrative, right? Like, because I write them specifically to pump bags. So it's like if you're writing a story, there's got to be a villain. It's going to be two people. And then there's going to be an audience where I write the character to resonate with certain listeners. And I write the other character to resonate with certain listeners. Like I just had a narrative I did where I was putting H bar versus BTC, and then I convinced some people to get in a debate, and then I was in both groups. Like I don't want to say agitating, but executing the narrative. So that's just normal life for like people get paid to lobby, advertise, marketing, and it's all about good writers.
Oh,
What
I
do you
get
guys
what she
think?
was talking about now.
What do you guys think about people that have made coins off of these
Oh yeah.
incidents, and like, do
Fuck.
Disgusting.
you think like
Bitch ass
do you think
niggas.
it's just gonna happen and like we just like let it live, or do you think that that's something that be shamed and blamed by the community?
And also, you should add.
Blacklist or
Hold on, hold
wallets.
Shame.
on. You should add extra information about that. Is it the dev who's the most diabolic, or the people investing in?
I think the
Both
most
The
people.
dev
diabolic.
and
Correct,
Both.
Who's
correct.
worse? Who's worse?
I think
In my
the
Right.
opinion,
dev.
both.
I think the most diabolic are
I
the
think the
people who are
dev.
claiming that they're upset because their dead person's coin is losing the narrative to the other dead person's coin. That to me is
Well,
wild.
No,
well,
that's
the thing
crazy.
is I've heard from people is like, oh, well, people profit off of like murder and death and like terrible things all the time. So like, this is just par for the course. Well, I don't like that argument. I don't think that that's something that we could like just because there's other shit that's like bad and evil and people are making money off this shit all the time. Why should we police it here? I don't think that it necessarily needs to be policed. I don't think that like pump fund needs to be like taking shit down. I think that that's like not right, but I don't think that it's like as a community, like I want to encourage people to do that. I think that it's morally really fucked. And I think that you're really fucked in the head if your first thing when you see this that happening in the United States is let me go check pump fund to see if I could make money off of this, rather than this is really fucked up that people can't have an opinion in America anymore and they're going to get killed for it. Like if your gut feeling is let me run to pump fund to make a couple bands, you have a mental illness.
Personally, I
Well,
The
believe
other
we're
thing is
it's also
also
adults,
everybody
and
grassroots.
everybody justifies one bad action in a space with another. That's the part I don't like. I don't care if it's rugging people or making a fucking coin about that. Like, is the first thing I thought about because I'm a degenerate? I wonder which Kirk coin comes out. Yes. Does that ever mean that I'd participate? No. But like, you're allowed to have thoughts. I'm allowed to think that like there's someone in this world I wish wasn't here. Doesn't mean anything. Like speaking on it and acting on it and perpetuating it is the problem. Like I don't wish it on anybody, but if there are a couple people out there in this world that like, yeah, I wouldn't feel super bad, but I wouldn't say it.
Well, I think that some of the problem is that like in America especially, I just don't think we have enough conversations out loud. Like we have like the polarizing sides that have these loud opinions that are going to scream it from the rooftops, and then nobody in the middle is having like real conversations. And I don't think that there's any education. I don't think that parents are talking to their kids anymore about things that they should be talking to their kids about. I think we stick iPads in front of kids' faces and we don't talk to our kids about sex education. I don't think we talk to our kids about like the way we should be treating other people. I don't think we like it. This is coming from someone been in the classroom with thousands of children prior to this. Like I watched it happen with my own eyes that like we just are not talking to our kids, and we're letting like narratives and the internet and like other people teach our children, and it's fucking up everything. Like I just
Uh,
think that we are not talking, and we're not talking to people we disagree with. We're not talking to people we slightly disagree with. And people would just rather like not talk about it because it's taboo. It's a hard conversation. It's not something we want to have out loud. And if you're not like, no matter what side of the coin you're on, if you're a leftist or you're a right, like you should be looking at what happened to Charlie Kirk today as a threat to your freedom, because this guy was just having a conversation about what he thought, and that is it. You should not feel safe in the skin that you were in if you're living in the United States after what happened today, and it doesn't matter what fucking political party you're in. Like that is
also
the
I
we
fucking
can
agree.
have
truth.
a
I
middle
agree.
ground. There is such
I
thing as
will
a middle
say
ground.
Hold on,
this.
hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. Sorry, there's hands up before guys. JP, Arabi mom, Arab, Arab and crypto mommy, no Arabi mommy. And besides that, yeah, Amy, that was a motivation speech. I feel safe now.
Bye.
Alon mute.
Yeah, no, Amy, you articulated it beautifully.
Okay,
Arabi,
let's go to the
is it
hands.
still muted?
No, it's good. I just wanted to say sometimes like when shit like this happens and we see these tokens launching and people profiting from these sort of tokens, I kind of ask myself like, do we actually deserve this sort of technology? Like as humans, like honestly, do we deserve this sort of technology where we could just like capitalize and take advantage of dead people and just shit that's going on in the world and make money from it? It's actually sad. Like how can someone put food on their table or their child's table, like literally with the money of like a token that's associated with someone that's dead?
Arabi,
Like, how
it's
does that make
because
sense?
look, not the world that we all see is all beautiful and butterflies and rainbows, but there are a lot of events that happen on a daily basis that we have no clue about. It's just in crypto, it's public information,
But
so
we
you
don't
just
deserve
see
this
it,
technology, is my point.
it's bad, it's extremely bad. Like just any other event that happens in the real world, it's obviously bad, but like it's
Well, he's
public
not trying to
information.
talk about the lesser of two evils, Beluji. He's not saying like, "Oh, this is the
No,
worst
no,
thing."
there's no
His point
lesser.
was about Shut up.
I'm
What
His point
I'm
was about
talking
what
about
I'm
how
profit.
this
saying.
technology
Yeah, calm down. But crypto mommy, yeah, you can talk, but let Arabi finish his point. And Beluji, next time you talk without raising your hand, like we're in fucking class right now, I'm gonna nuke you right now.
all I'm
I'll
saying
unmute.
is
You on mute.
It's
just give
Alan.
me the word and Beloji is gone.
yeah, what I was saying is we don't deserve any technology that makes us free as humans. Like it's really sad, to be honest. Like any little thing that just gives us freedom, we just don't deserve it, to be honest. We deserve to be flipping slaves, honestly.
Arabi, to be fair though, profiting from the news of death is literally the media industry. So it's
I
not
mean, I will
just
say,
crypto.
like, after
Yeah,
nine
and
11,
that's
people shorted airlines, right? But, like, with the coins, it's like so directly associated and visceral that it's, like, worse in that regard, right? Like, it's directly associated with the person versus shorting an airline stock. So, I mean, yeah, it's not good.
It only goes up if people buy it. That's the problem. And lots of people bought it. And they put their money in and they're competing against other people that are willing to profit from death. I don't agree with it either, but it's kind of inevitable. It's kind of like freedom of speech. Like if you allow one thing, you have to allow everything, and it's just going to keep happening. All you can do really is buy the shit you believe in, and that's it. But belief is not really a thing anymore. And for a lot of people in the trenches, it's just where can they make money in the next 7 minutes, basically.
I don't think there should be full decentralization, to be honest. I think
Well,
there should
yeah,
be some
but
sort of
then
authority. I'm not even
where do you
joking.
draw
Like,
the
bro,
line,
someone
brother?
like that should get IP banned.
But where, just
I'm not
Oh,
even
at this
for
joking.
point,
Like,
I
life,
someone
probably
like
would
that
for
just
should get
go
life, you're
full
IP
just
banned.
full
gone, bro. No
decentral.
more trenching for you. Twitter gone, everything.
There is no
Bro, no,
perfect
like
answer. The fully
someone that
decentralized
launches that
world
token
can't
should
work.
get flipping IP ban from PomFun. Like genuinely,
Yeah, then
like
they got a
there should.
VPN and more IPs, and it doesn't really matter. You
Yeah,
can't stop
Bro,
it because
pump
that's the
fun
world
are
we
yeah.
live
The
in.
But
Israelis.
problem
You think they
is,
truthfully,
give a shit?
Pumpfun's profiting from every coin that's made, so they're not going to just stop something that's on a
no, but there's
decentralized
also no line.
platform.
There's no line you can draw.
Yeah, like
Then it's
when you
like,
draw the line, it becomes super muddy because then the people are like, it's going to be such a mess for them to police what is right and what is wrong. And I don't think that it's Pump Fund's job. I think that you, as a human being, it's your job to say, like, if you want to do this or not. And it's on your own conscience if you're going to make that kind of money because it's just a launch pad. They're not like fucking promoting these. It'd be one thing if Pump Fund was promoting these tokens. But they're not. Like, they could be hidden forever and nobody could bid them. But some of these loser ass like bottom feeders are looking for to make money off of the events that have a lot of relevance, and this is an event that has a lot of relevance, and then they're gonna bid the token, and that's never gonna stop because this ecosystem attracts the worst kind of people and attracts the best kind of people, and there is no in between. They're high risk tolerant human beings that are degenerate gamblers, and they are gonna stop at nothing even if it's bidding on a murdered human being's life.
Hey,
It's like
Yeah,
guys,
Miami
by the way,
tokenize
Vice.
can we?
everything.
I'm not.
Hey! You waited for Amy to finish. You jump like animals, like monkey. Come on, respect woman. Crypto mommy needs to talk. She been waiting. Like I was waiting to give her the speech, and then JP Morgan. We have JP Morgan, the real one. Elon Musk mute. Now you need to talk.
Do you want me or JP Morgan first? I'm scared.
Both the fastest one.
Okay. Honestly, all I learned from CT today, the little bits I was here, was how like just I think Tochi said, was it Tochi or Amy? Is like, where's the line? And I was just talking to Antoine about that in a DM too, because people were mad about stock HQ tweeting data. They reported data like they do always for coins. There was nothing emotional or opinions posted there, but it's like I messaged him. I was like, but at the same time, where does CT draw the line? Because like Rasmer's tweet was fucking insane, and he deleted it. If anybody caught that, that was fucking insane to say. And then I've seen you guys cheer for arguably worse things that happened. Like, remember when Bobby got fired from that one company? His badge got ripped and his contract got terminated because he profited off of the Gaza children dying, and everybody laughed about it. And then he got terminated, and then he tweeted about, like, he openly talks about that. That's arguably worse
mm,
than one man being shot.
I don't know why
And
I was singled out to
Inarguably.
remember that there, but I do remember it.
Because you're his friend, and that was back when we all used to do spaces
I
together.
would not be
But it's
friends
like
with
I
somebody
remember
making
crypto
that.
jokes about
Twitter,
such a topic.
crypto Twitter, and all you little heathens on here, you little pagans,
Booby is a
decide to
piece of
draw this.
shit.
Shut up,
Don't
Beloji.
call me a fucking pagan.
Decide to draw this imaginary line when you feel like you want to, when it works for you, and say, "Oh no, what's wrong with you guys?" And like that's the part that I don't get, other than not saying I agree, like, or saying that it should have been done, but it's like, why? Like,
Yeah,
when and why?
Araby. I would like to draw the line at cat coins.
Stupid.
No, well, I
Yeah,
don't
you
even
don't
buy meme
agree,
coins
so who
anymore.
cares? I want to draw the line there, and I want
Well,
Pump
yeah,
to
Well,
remove
that's
them.
but
your choice, but that's
and
not what
then
I meant.
Well, then the
And
other
I
one's
wasn't
your choice.
criticizing. Well,
on
no,
it.
no. Well, it's a flipping cat coin. There's a difference
Well,
between
I want the
Charlie Kirk
line
getting
drawn
shot in
there.
the neck and a cat
Drawing the
coin.
line.
Oh my god. Okay. Anyways, and then like going off of what Amy was saying too, like not feeling safe after what happened today. It's been the last like what 48 hours with like the stabbing on the bus with the girl that's developing like a fucking race war. And then we have Charlie Kirk, a right-wing Republican, being shot, and that's developing this like a further instigated political war where Elon didn't, I think it was Elon that pretty much directly said we need to wash liberals off the face of the planet. Like, we're giving permissions to kill people that we don't agree with. And that in itself is actually very scary because we're doing it on such a large scale on camera in front of the world, but Americans that are like already being so charged up by what happened on the bus and what like everything else that brings, and just like people are so wrapped up in politics because we do have people who think Trump is God and brings in all the religious people too. Like it's just fucking, it's crazy. Like I was on the phone with my friend in Canada. I was like, I might go move in with you. Because
Yeah,
I don't,
you should come to Canada.
I just
No,
don't.
don't go. Belushi is there. But yeah, crypto mommy,
Apologies
we are
there.
in attention
That's
economy.
crazy.
We are in attention economy. And honestly, if anyone tweets something and he put it publicly and does something like how we call that, like shock, like a shocking tweet or whatever, they just
Shock
run
Shock
it
value.
value.
after fucking, yeah, exactly, shock value after the tension and the engagement, and then when they get in fucking the drama and the and the cancel culture, they feel fucked, pretty much. Now JP Morgan with the pingu.
With the pink. Wait, also,
Appreciate
real
that.
quick, I see. I'm proud of you for hosting a space in general, but also a serious little space. Like, good job. Good job.
Yeah, because I'm not racist anymore. I stopped. And
Anymore?
yeah.
Before
Oh,
JP,
what were you? Who are you racist to?
before JP
Bro,
goes,
I
Good.
went cold turkey on my racism.
I would say if yeah, you're you're not all in now. following Iceem already, I would encourage him in the
Hey,
comments. No, no, no,
no
follow him.
promotion, no
No,
promotion,
I'm
no
promoting
promotion,
Iceem.
no
Follow him.
promotion.
He tried to
Don't
mute
promote
Amy.
me.
He tried to mute Amy. And give him encouragement in the comments that he should do more of these because I think he's doing a really good job.
Thank you, JP Morgan. You gonna talk? I'm gonna ban you.
I've been trying,
My
but
bad.
people love talking. But yeah, bruv, there were so many points brought up, but I guess I'll stick to the one Amy asked. I guess we're so desensitized to this entire shit, right? Like we all just live in this digitalized world where death is again profited on or you lose money on. I mean, this shit's been going on for like what almost since that dude shot himself on Pump Fun. But like what I do want to give CT credit for is the amount of time the coin lasted and the amount of money that went in and out. You get what I'm saying? Like you take it back a year ago, that bitch was fucking insanity. Now people are kind of getting more, I guess, like Crypto Mommy said, like people are earning their morals back or whatever, so they
Nah, they're
feel
just
bad
trying to
about
make
it.
a bag because
But
they want a rug before everyone else does. What do you
yeah,
mean?
I get that. I get that. But like it just goes to show like the trenches are so fucked that even death coins run. And you know what I'm saying? Like again, it's just the whole desensitization of everything that we are going through. It just doesn't seem real. And regardless of what side you're on, and again, I didn't agree with Charlie, but nobody deserves shit like that. You feel me? Like, I mean, I don't know if that was like a crazy leftist or if that was a professional shot. I mean, one shot, one kill how crazy can you be to make that shot? You know what I'm saying? Like you got to be
Honestly,
somewhat in your
not
goddamn
that
brain.
crazy. About 200 yards at that. Probably aiming center
Yeah,
mass, and
like
they
you
hit
got
in
to
the
be.
neck.
Yeah, yeah, and because of the wind, like you really have to be in your senses to make a shot like that. Like we it's just like we're at a point where people just haven't been told like your opinion doesn't fucking matter and to shut the fuck up. And if you understood that, somebody's opinion shouldn't trigger you to the point where you want to kill somebody. Like we're it's just like we're just in a fucked up world where I finally like I told my twin, like I was like, bro, there's so much evil out there outside of the little norm that we've created for us. Like we all have our own normal, and outside of that, just the world seems crazy. But in reality, like we all promote it in a way, right? Like crime season, it's legal. Well, shit. If it's legal, then anything goes,
It's not the
including
purge. It's
make.
crime season on chain. There's a little bit of a difference.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So on chain, anything goes, including making money on debt. It's just like where do you draw the line? You won't. It's just you'll see a separation where the people that want to make money on shit like this are gonna continue to, and the people that want to move on and build proper shit will build. It's just this is the separation. But I'm just saying, like, man, this is gonna be a major pivot for America and just the way shit's gonna be moving. So I just feel bad overall for like the youth, bro. The generation is just fucked.
MSNBC is reporting that it was a
Yeah, a
missile.
celebration
Yeah, like a
shot. Like,
misfire.
what the fuck kind of like it just goes to show, bro, like we're just all living on a fucking stage and it's a fucking play. And either you laugh about it or you don't, but it's just it's fucked, bro. And people are making TikToks like laughing and again, rage baiting is now a thing where I rather be viral than actually, make sense in life. So I guess being viral is more important, you know what I'm saying? And money is more important than everything else at this
Like it's
point.
not even like a left or right thing. Like it's just this guy's mentally ill and he shot someone because of his thoughts or opinions. But it's crazy that people are like, yo, this is so wrong that one guy got killed. Also, it is 9/11 right now, so yeah.
You know, there has been 40 other murders this month, right?
You know that there is people with hands up. I respect the democracy that I involved installed in this society of ISIM space. So when you see hands up, you keep it quiet. Beside, if someone asks you a question directly, that's the rules in the space. We are in a democracy. The host space was voted legally. So yeah, doing big Chicago with the Drewski profile picture as a white man. You can talk.
Bro,
He's a Lebanese man.
Sorry, boss.
Oh, you're good.
yo, can I actually just
Yeah, go
reply
ahead. Go
back
ahead.
just real quick? It's not just about the death of one man. You know what I'm saying? I think people are overlooking and trying to compare it to a genocide in other countries. I'm talking it's not again if you're in the states it's a different vibe because of how separated the whole fucking nation is to the point where we're killing over opinions. It's not about the fact that oh it's just one white guy died and then 40 murders happened here. What is being televised to the point that is down your fucking throat is just that one murder. What's separating the whole fucking country? That one murder. So again, like yeah, you can compare it to a genocide around the world, but it's not gonna mean much to the people in the states. And again, I'm just saying it as like a unbiased person, but it's not gonna affect the people that are going crazy and are angry because of this situation right here. You get what I'm saying? It's like again, it's like when Palestine and all of Israel and all this stuff was going on, we were bringing up Ukraine. Like you can't keep comparing one shit to another shit. It's just what's being talked about right now, what happened today, Charlie Kirk shit. You get what I'm saying? Like, yeah, 40 other murders might have happened, but what's on the main news and what's being televised and what's being turned into a way for us to fight each other more. That's what the fuck we're talking about, right? We're not talking about just one murder. That's I just wanted to state that point because I keep hearing that. But again, like it's beyond that at that point. You know what I'm saying? Like he's been turned into a martyr for some, and he's been turned into a complete, you know what I'm saying? Like somebody that should have been killed for some. So it's a big separation where one murder defined what line you step on. And that's the country that you are living in, right? Like if you were living in Israel Palestine, you'd be more worried about that. I'm living in the United States. I'm more worried about what's going to happen in the state next to me. Living in the South, there are already rallies. It's just going to get crazier and crazier, and it's just like, yo, like that's my reality right now, right? So I was just focusing on that. But again, I would never compare one death to a genocide of any country,
bro.
bros. I just want to make that fucking
Yeah.
clear.
Well,
Also,
listen, I don't.
they
Oh,
constantly ask for America to stop being involved in their politics, and the second America has news, they start asking why they're not talking about their politics.
listen, I don't think anybody's comparing one to the other. Like you can talk about both. You can talk about everything. This is kind of my whole point. Like comparing October 7th to what's going on in Palestine isn't a comparison. They're both wrong. Comparing what happened today to what happened in another fucking instance, both wrong. 64 people got shot in Chicago this weekend, still wrong. Somebody got fucking, there was a school shooting in Denver today, also wrong. Like it's not about a comparison thing. Like could there be things that connect one to another at some point that come out? Absolutely. But we don't know what the answer is. Like I mean at this point, like probability says that Charlie Kirk was shot for what he said. Could it be a crazy fucking tranny? Sure. Could it be a fucking Mossad agent? Sure. Could it be a random person who just wanted to make the news because he's about to drop a fucking funds coin? Yeah, sure. It could be fucking anything. Like it's not until you get to the answer, who knows what the fucking real fucking truth is. But it's just all this is wrong, and I don't think like calling multiple things wrong or talking about a similarity in something or talking about that like what happened with Charlie Kirk, we'll see what happens. Like, I think we're all skewed by things that happened in the past. I'm skewed by the fact that Donald Trump was attempted to be assassinated, and we don't even fucking know a thing about the kid. No one ever got interviewed. That stuff got swept by the same media today that's running weird ass fucking stories, and the same people who are baiting this. Like, everybody can have an opinion, but when you turn it into fact, that's where it's a problem. Like opinion's not wrong, but the difference between like media and what we're talking about is a lot of the time they speak that stuff as fact, and that's an issue. Like like don't get the facts wrong, but you can have a different opinion. I mean, it just I don't know how to put it, but like I think the big issue you have in a lot of arguments and like call this what it is, again, my opinion, is that in most of the things we're talking about that are the biggest fucking issues in the world, one side of it is much more hypocritical than the other side. And this is just in almost everything. Like, like we can call it what it is. Charlie Kirk just tries to have conversations. Like, I love the kind of conversations he has. Like, my mom fucking hates Trump. I don't love the guy, but I think he was a better option than Biden or fucking Harris. Like, I just had an A B option. Like, it doesn't mean that, like, because I think that one person is better than the other, I agree with everything. And that's like the kind of issue you're starting to get in this world is like, people think because you're on one side because you voted or because you're on one side of something that you agree with it. Like I agree with a lot of things that people in this space say, and then there's things that somebody says that I don't agree with. Having a discussion about it is healthy. Like, and I think that's what Charlie Kirk did best was he had discussions about things. He gave his opinion, and what it showcased the most was that people who had differing opinions from him were lightly hypocritical in the way they answered him. They were always like, certain sides. He showcased certain sides being a lot more hypocritical in things. But at the same token, the thing I think he's the biggest hypocrite about is, the Israel thing. So like we can sit here and argue, like I don't agree with one thing, I don't agree with another, but like it's not what you say, it's how you say in this world. Like I can sit here and tell you, I think creator capital markets are dumb, but I think they're dumb because of the way they're being brought out today. Not because I don't think it can't work, but the system that's in place for them today is not set up to work. Or like saying we don't deserve blockchain or we don't deserve this space. You're totally right. There's plenty of things that don't make sense. Like full decentralization of the world doesn't make sense. But the opposite is letting someone control you. And that's what we're coming between. Like I've always said, like when we went into Web 3, Web 2.3 is coming and Web 4.5 is going to be what fucking settles it between. Like the dot-com bubble happened. And what did we get? We got the internet. The meme coin, fucking shit coin, crypto coin, currency, everything we want to talk about is here. What are we going to end up with? The blockchain. And like most of the stuff that gets ruined is going to be because it was supposed to get ruined. Like I don't think meme coins last, but blockchain is going to last at least 50 to 100 years if nothing better replaces it. Same way the internet was. Like the internet wasn't the problem, but nobody makes money off the core piece of the internet. Like, the idea of a spreadsheet was a great idea, but that doesn't mean that everything that's put on a spreadsheet is correct. Like that's it. Like blockchain's the win here, and we're just gonna fucking remind people forever why there's flaws in it until eventually something fucking happens. Same thing with politics, same thing with fucking, opinions about anything. Like, in the end, dude, somebody shouldn't have got shot today. And everything we've brought up today in every single fucking instance, there's something that shouldn't have happened. Somebody shouldn't have died on a bus. Somebody shouldn't fucking have committed October 7th. Countries shouldn't fight over things that aren't fucking, this. Like, shit, fucking, what do we call them? Prediction markets shouldn't be fucking legal to fucking allow gambling for people who have put the last fucking 30 years into their casinos. Like, there's a lot of shit, but like, it's just going to argue. And I mean, I think in the end, like, we're going to end up with blockchain and no fucking meme coins and regulation around it. And the reality is, like, I think to participate in things like this in the future, it's going to be just like any other part of America, where the only difference is we're going to have fucking digital IDs instead of having in KYC, instead of having to show your ID and set up an LLC. Like, you might always have your instance where, like, you can have a Delaware company hide something, but you can't really hide it. You can just hide the money part of it.
I think this is the perfect conclusion. I have 4%. We've been here since a good time. A serious space. I didn't feel that today was a day to post skits or something funny. I think it was the day to have this type of conversation, have the point of view of everyone. To somehow we join our forces right now. Space is maybe one of the best thing that Twitter did. People hear everyone talking their point of view and do it big. Chicago had a good conclusion. I'm gonna end the space right here. I'm sorry for anyone that wanted to talk, but next time it's too late now. I need to go to sleep. I don't take showers, so I need to sleep early. Some last words. Everyone can scream like go crazy style. Fuck it.
Oh my god.
11.
Yeah.